What is up? Welcome back. This is Game Brigade. My name is Brian. Today on the show, we are doing our crowdfunding roundup, back or skip, where we talk about all the campaigns that are ending this week and kind of give you my opinion on if I recommend backing them, if I'm backing them myself, and whatnot. It is December 17th, so we are kind of coming up to the end of the crowdfunding season for this year. Most likely, we will not have another crowdfunding back or skip until the following year. Crowdfunding really becomes kind of sparse in this last final 2 weeks. If there is a campaign I want to talk about, or maybe two or three, I'll see what I can do. But who wants to do a video for just one game? Who knows? Otherwise than that, this week we'll have our channel update. We're talking about the entire year, highs and lows for the channel. I'd like you guys to watch that if you can. So please check it out. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get to the first game. Why not? Okay, so starting off with Tiny Epic Cthulhu. This is from Gamelin Games, and I actually am very impressed with this title. Tiny Epic Games basically will take an idea, a concept, some sort of game, and make it, but condense it to a game the size of this little box. That is their gimmick that they do. They have these little boxes that they'll put games in. But I will tell you, I'm fairly impressed with what kind of games they create that are confined to the sizes of these small boxes. Now, looking at Cthulhu here, I am very impressed with all the mechanics and movement here that I'm seeing. And let's just get into it. Let's just talk about what this game works. So obviously we are dealing with Cthulhu. So you have a great old one that is going to try to unleash their terrors upon the city, Arkham most likely, in whatever cases, and you are going to be playing a role of one of the investigators in this game. So you are going to be spinning this little dial in the middle, and wherever it lands, there's going to be a front and a back, and there's going to be several actions that occur. It's going to add things to the discard map potentially. If you build, it's going to draw things from this bag, and you're trying to not draw these black cubes, because if you draw all three black cubes, the dark one will level up and eventually win the game. So you're going to try to confine and make more stuff put into this cube. So you'll see as they draw this cube here, they'll take a few cubes. Some of them are going to fill out these locations. There are three types of resources. I think you have fear, rage, and like corruption or something like that. And then once that's done, once you do the spinning, you then take three actions with your hero, your character, based on the location you are, either returning cubes or moving around, whatnot. That's the concept. It's and then of course, if you want to defeat the monsters that are going to be spawning, you'll be rolling these dice, and depending on the roll, you'll have to remove cubes from your board. It's actually not going to be cubes. I say cubes because the prototypes included cubes, but they actually have these really cool little screen printed meeples, which is just incredible. You get a really good value of game in these Tiny Epic games. So let's take a look at that. So this, you can kind of see the contents of what's inside the box. You got the player boards, you got the enemy old god boards here. You got the town mats. This is the town that you're going to be located in, and these are double-sided, so there's actually going to be more variety here, and these all have their own unique powers that you can activate as well on your turn. The players are going to be winning by solving the Necronomicons, basically like translating it. So there's going to be several cards here that you're going to be located, and those are those that are located right here around the board. You can kind of see them right here around the board. So players are going to try to uncover those cards and use them to translate the Necronomicon so that they can win the game. There's also a deluxe option if you're looking for that. For $5 more, you can get the deluxe edition. It includes basically changes to these other standard tokens, basically making them wooden and screen printing them. So it looks pretty cool. You got 5 more artifact cards being added in, as well as these wooden tokens. So there's also an expansion. I want to talk about these expansions because I like the Tiny Epic expansions, because the games are so small. So anytime you can get an opportunity to increase the options and playability, I think it's great. But there is also a problem. I think both of these actually had the issue. So Tiny Epic Pirates, it actually looks really good right now. I have an expansion in here. Before I got a custom-made 3D print insert for this game, I had to use both boxes. I had to use the expansion box that came with this as well as the main box. But the real draw to Tiny Epic Games is able to contain the entire system in a single box. You can see that this game has some lid lift because of the same reason. So I think the expansion's a good deal. You're getting some more playability, some more tokens here. You got the followers and the cultist tentacles. It adds a really good option here for more playability. It's just, I hate the fact that sometimes without some sort of custom insert, you're going to have to use two boxes, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of the Tiny Epic line. So let's take a look at the reward tiers here. So they have a print and play option. I always like it when they offer print and plays, but I feel like for $20, for $5 more, you can just get the game. I don't see why you would not just pay the $5 more. I get it, you're saving on shipping, which is technically like, you know, $11, so like $15 more, but still, I feel like the components, the quality of the components, you know, you're gonna have to pay for the print and play stuff. Like, you're paying $20 and you're still gonna have to pay for the print and play materials. So I feel like it's a wash. I'd rather just get the actual components. For $30, you get that deluxe game. So that's where you can get those deluxified components and getting it all clean and organized for you. And then for $10 above that is the deluxe bundle. Now here there are some additional bundles. Usually these are made for retailers that you can take a look at. But for $40, I think it's a pretty good deal. You are getting closer to like a normal standard size box price though at this $40 price. So just be aware of that. Shipping is down here where you can see the estimates, $11 for a standard game. If you're getting the expansion, it's $13, and this goes over the VAT. VAT is not included, so you'll have to pay that during the pledge manager. I really like this game, and so I'm going to give this my pick of the week. I think this is the game that I would recommend backing. I'm not currently backing it just because I have enough Tiny Epic games right now. I might pick it up later, who knows. I've enjoyed the Tiny Epic line. I think it's a really cool, unique system, and I enjoy the small box games. They just don't seem to get called out enough to be played at game night. I don't know if it's like just the idea of a small box game or whatnot, but they don't get called out enough, but I still think they're really cool. If you are looking for some gameplay, because they don't have, if you go here and you're looking at like rewards, they don't have, they have a good like section of how to play. Like this stuff is good. And social media, they have this, but they don't have like videos that I could find online. So I had to Google Tiny Epic. I actually found this Rado's preview here pretty good. Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. I really enjoyed this video. I think it gave a good option to teach you how to play more so than some of these other videos. But that's my opinion. You can watch the ones you want to watch. Usually these Final Thoughts ones are also good ones to tune into. So that's it. So that's my pick of the week, Cthulhu. Tiny Epic Cthulhu. Next, we're going to be moving on to Panda Party Panda Pirates. I constantly call this Panda Party Pirates, but it's Party Panda Pirates. And this is a game that I actually covered for the channel. So if you're looking for some more information about this game, I would recommend checking out my channel. I've got a pretty good video on this one. And this is by Detestable Games. And I am very impressed with what this little game is. This is basically Mario Party, you know, the board game. You are going to be playing as one of these pirates that is going to be, I want to refresh this because it's like not tracking the way I want it to be tracking. So hold on. Let's just do that real quick. I keep getting Asian, like, I can't tell if it's Japanese or Chinese, but it keeps showing me Asian text, and I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. So you're going to be playing as one of these pirates as you go through different types of mini games, playing 6 total mini games in total, as you move around this little treasure map, collecting treasure, as you try to be the pirate with the most treasure at the end of the game. I really enjoyed this game. I think it's a great game, family weight game. I really liked this little island archipelago here that was in the shape of a bear head. I thought that was super cute. And then the pirate hat here on top of his head that is the map. Just a really cute aesthetic that's filled with this game. Great art. And just a game that I felt comfortable playing with my 4-year-old, you know, on up. So I think this is a great game for people who are looking for something that you can play with your friends and family that aren't necessarily gamers. Okay. In terms of rewards, there's two different types of rewards that you get inside the box. The standard edition, MSRP 35, you can get it right now on Kickstarter at 29, is going to include the game board with that double-sided map. You got the chest tokens, you got the little pirate ship in the middle, and you're going to get the games that are unlocked through the stretch goals and whatnot. I love that they have the Panda meeples here that are screen printed. I think those are super cute, and you got all the cards and everything with it. But they have the deluxe edition, MSRP $70, 59 listed here. I am not sure which one of these, if either, will be at retail, so be aware of that. But this basically replaces these meeples that we were talking about. Where do they go? Right here. These meeples are going to be replaced by these minis. I am not necessarily one. I like minis. I think this game, I actually like the aesthetic of the wooden meeples, in my opinion. I think they're super cute. But, I'm not going to, harp on you if you decide that you like these minis as well. And these panda pirates here, they're also taken from popular pop culture references for pirates. So like we have Hook here, you've got Jack Sparrow, this is the One Piece guy, this is Misfortune from League of Legends. I'm not sure who this one is. And this guy, who would that guy be? I'm not sure who that one is. But that's just like what I was able to tell by looking at the art in the game when I was referencing this. So I think that's kind of cool that they have some references to pop culture things, and it makes it a little bit more fun. The cardboard tokens are replaced with metal coins, the wooden tokens for the treasure chests and pirate hats, as well as the acrylic tokens are replaced, the cardboard tokens into acrylic. So you're basically getting a really good deluxified version of this game. The box is also bigger, which kind of can actually make some of the games easier, like the one that you fling cards into the box lid. So yeah, you can take it for what you like. And then they got the Deluxe Plus, which is a plushie, super cute. I can't give recommendations on the plushie. That's your own personal taste if you like something like that. But I personally am looking at the standard edition. I think this is a good game. I think the price is fair for the quality game that you're getting here. So I'm happy with that. The deluxe upgrade, we'll see. I don't necessarily think I need it, but who knows? The minis are cute. My daughter would love them. So that is Party Panda Pirates. I was going to say it wrong again. Next, we have Bards vs. Humility, a board game for spicy bards. I think I am not a fan. First off, before you get into this, make sure you know my bias. I am not a fan of Cards Against Humanity. I think it was a game that worked in early 2010s, but I think it's overlived its stay. And the games that are constantly ripping on the idea and rehashing it, I think it's a tired mechanic. But there are people who love these types of games. On this backer skip game, I have a hard line where I only really try to consider games that are over 1,000 backers. I think that's kind of like that line. And there's over 1,000 backers on this one. So there's obviously an audience still for this. So figured I'll give you a talk about it, let you know my thoughts. But just know my bias. I am not a fan of Cards Against Humanity style games. Never have been. So this one has a little bit of a different twist. You're still doing the exact same thing. You'll have the prompt card as well as the response card. So players are going to be playing a card. And there's two different modes. You got the standard mode, which is the same as Cards Against Humanity. Someone will play a role. They'll do a prompt. Everyone plays their joke. And whoever has the funniest joke, according to whoever's reading the prompt, will get a point. Pretty standard. The next one is the dungeon mode. So they're going to have a little bit of a Dungeons and Dragons D&D dungeon crawler mode where you're going to have a monster that's going to come up and you're going to have to do the same thing, but whoever has the funniest joke will defeat the monster. I guess, that's the best I could get from, the rules here. I don't necessarily know, like some of these have like 1 damage, 2 damage. Not sure if that means anything or does anything. But yeah, that's what you got here. Again, I'm not really that impressed. I can't give a recommendation on this. This is something I would not back ever. But there's people out there, so I want to make sure I'm not. I feel like a jerk. And of course, you got the not safe for work stuff. Yeah, what can you say? Bards versus Humility. We're coming up to another line one here. The Other Side of the Hill, the game. This is made by a company who I cannot say their names. I don't know how. I literally do not know how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. But this is kind of doing a different take on World War II games. This is going to give players the opportunity to play as the Wehrmacht generals or leaders in that army, the German high command, basically, where players are going to be trying to strive to get the most prestige and power before Germany falls and collapses, which will be inevitable in this game. And there's several different modes of gameplay here. You've got a competitive, player will win, even if Germany falls before it historically did, which means the players were just so chaotic that it even fell before it was normally supposed to fall. You have cooperative, where everyone's still working together, and if you either win or lose together, but it's always going to fall. Like, Germany will always fall, but it's like if you last beyond the failure date, you can also play solo. Semi-cooperative, this actually seems like probably the way I personally play. If Germany falls before the historical date, everyone will lose. But if you last beyond it, whoever has the most prestige will win. I think that's probably the best way to play it, because that means that everyone is wanting to last, but there's still going to be one winner. Whatnot. So yeah, you have Back now. I'm not sure if this game will be at retail availability and whatnot. And I wish, they have videos and reviews. You could check some of this stuff out and see what you guys think of the videos and see if there are anything that you might be interested in. The only thing I can really say about this game, the gameplay, I can't give much. It's very kind of, it's not my aesthetic in terms of what I like in my World War II games. But the only thing I probably would have done differently if I was the publisher designer of this game is that I probably would not have used the real world historical characters in this game. I know it's a historical situation, but we could have done just like, let me show you an example. If I do Company of Heroes, German leader art, something like that. I don't know. Everything's, let's see here. So you've got like this kind of art. You could have done like this kind of stuff. This is from a game called Company Heroes that I play. These are the leaders here on the side. You can't really see them. If I do that, I think this would have been fine. You could have had people that are not real. They still represent the officers from the Wehrmacht. But it might have been more sensitive to some people that, I don't know. Who knows? That's what I would have done. I think I would, and I personally don't like real world art in my games, like as it is. Like when we talk about games that are like movie IPs, I think it's so cringy when you have like the movie scene as the card. It just drives me nuts. And I kind of feel like I have that same vibe here, but this is also cheaper because you don't require an artist. So I get the point of why they would do that as well. So yeah, I would check it out if this is something you might be interested in, because I'm not sure if this would be a retail game or not. And wrapping up the week, we've got Way of the Samurai, the roll and write. This one is, I'm not a roll and write fan. Again, my biases there, so just be aware of it. But I do think there are some cool things that are presented here. First off, the art is incredible. I love the way this art is presented in the game. And the way the game works is there are 4 dice that you'll be rolling. You can choose to roll 1, 2, or 3 dice. Whatever you don't roll, your opponent will roll. So I don't know why you wouldn't roll 3, but maybe there's some reason as to why you would or wouldn't. But the dice that you roll will then be assigned to either your attack, your defense, or your concentration. So you're going to make sure you are aligning those properly, because then the opponent will roll you will roll for your opponent. And record what kind of damages you're going to be taking, and potentially striking potential body parts, reducing your effectiveness in combat. You'll also have to decide what kind of weapon you're going to use. They're going to be included these 4 different types of weapons. So that's the game. It's a roll and write. There's about 18 different scenarios, 13 different types of opponents you'll be fighting against. All the review content here is in French, so unless you're a French speaker or you enjoy watching videos with closed captioning, it's kind of hard to understand what they're kind of talking about, but it might be worth it if you're really interested in this. But yeah, this is Way of the Samurai, the roll and write game. So that's it. Let's hit it on over. So quick and easy video today. How many games do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games. There's a bunch more that we're ending this week, but a lot of them are like 40 backers, 50 backers, just real light type of campaigns out right now. And in fact, the launching weeks, the games that launched this week, kind of seeing the same thing. Like, I'm not so sure how many of those are going to be able to even get close to 700 backers, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know in either a community update or my Discord channel if we're going to be doing anything for next week in the Backer Skip series. Anyways, my name is Brian. I thank you guys for watching the show. If you want to support us, remember to subscribe, hit the like button to really increase the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment, though. Let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend and the rest of your week, and I will talk to you very soon.